everybody! Welcome to another episode of Make It Monday with me, Laura Buechler of Inkyfingers Papercrafting. And today I'm going to be showing you how to do the triple time stamping technique. This is a favorite of mine for sure. I've been doing it for years and years, and I can't wait to show it to you. And don't forget to stick around for the end of the video when we're going to be giving away this beautiful card that we made last week on Make It Monday. So make sure you stick around for that. All right, let's get started. Let's switch this over, show this gorgeous card up close. As you can see, we're going to be using the Cheerful Daisies, stamp set today. So let me get started and show you how to put together a triple time Stampin' card. Now, the key when you're putting together any kind of triple time Stampin' is that you have 3 pieces of neutral cardstock, whether that is white or vanilla, depending on what you want to use. And then you're going to have 3 pieces of cardstock mats that coordinate with this. So each one of these is going to get layered on top, and they're all just a little bit bigger. Now I want to show you this because, yes, I'm going to provide all of these measurements in a free PDF download on my tutorial shop. But even though I'm using very specific measurements today, you can use any measurements you want. As long as you have 3 pieces of white and 3 pieces of contrasting cardstock to mat, you can use this technique on any kind of, any different sizes of cardstock that you want. So the first thing you want to do is take your 3 white pieces, and in this case I'm using, the second one is just the same shape but a little bit smaller, and the third one is the same shape but a little bit smaller, and that's how it's going to look. And what I want to do is I've got some very old retired Stampin' Up washi tape, and you can use any kind of repositional tape that you want. And I'm going to put these just sort of temporarily in place so that they won't be wiggling around while I'm stamping. Okay, easy peasy, right? So we've got those layered up, so they're not going to move while I'm stamping. And these mats and the card base I can just put off to the side for now. I won't need them until later. So now I've got my Stampin' Pierce mat, because the Cheerful Daisies stamps are all photopolymer, so I definitely want to have my mat underneath. And I've got some blank paper to protect my mat because I'm going to be stamping all around here and including off the edges. So the first thing I want to do is grab my sentiment stamp, which apparently I forgot to put on a block. Wasn't that brilliant of me? Okay, we're going to use this one that says your friendship means everything. Okay, Laura, you did put it on a block. You just don't know where that block is. Good work. Not a great start to my video. Yeah, don't know where that is. Okay, we're going to grab a different sentiment because I don't know where that one went, folks. Hope you have the brightest birthday. Yep, look, we just turned this into a birthday card. It's that easy. That's going to turn up as soon as I finish stamping this. I'm going to find where that other missing stamp is. Okay. So I'm going to stamp in boho blue, my sentiment, and I'm going to stamp it on the smallest of these white layers. Hope you have the brightest birthday, or wishing you the brightest birthday. Okay, now while I've got my boho blue out, I'm going to grab my large daisies. Now, doing this specific technique with the Cheerful Daisies stamp set, we're adding a step because the Cheerful Daisies stamp set is a 2-step stamp set. And what that means is that for each flower, we have 2 different stamps. So for the large daisy, we've got an outline stamp and a filling it in stamp. I see we've got 3 people watching, and I would love for you to say hello in the comments so I know who's out there. Say hi. Let me know where you're turning in from. Okay. So what I'm going to do now, I've got the same color here, boho blue, with the fill-in stamp, and I'm just going to stamp it off and then line up my image and stamp it right on top of that outline that I stamped a moment ago. One of the things I love about photopolymer stamps is being able to see right through them and line them up exactly where I want them to be. So there's my two beautiful blue daisies. Gorgeous, right? Okay, who have we got here? I see there's a comment. Hey, Kathy. Oh, wow, tuning in from Florida. Awesome. Thanks for joining us today. I don't think I've seen you here on my live before. So welcome. Welcome to Make It Monday. Okay, so I've now got the large middle for these flowers. So I'm going to stamp that in. And so now we've got two beautiful blue daisies. Usually working. Oh, I'm glad you got a day off. All right. Thanks for tuning in. That's wonderful. All right. Next, what I want to do is I'm going to do this kind of medium daisy. And again, we've got two different stamps that we're going to create the shape. Is it a holiday where you are, Kathy, or is it a vacation day for you? What are you up to on this fine day off? I'm using Moody Mauve for this. Oops. Fell off my block onto my ink pad. Now, this can happen when I've used a stamp a lot. It will get, a little bit less clingy to the block because the oils from my hands are preventing it from sticking. So if that happens to you, what you can do is use Dawn dish soap and clean your stamps front and back with Dawn dish soap, and that will help them be a little bit more clingy. Oh, Kathy, you've got COVID. Oh, hon, I'm so sorry. Oh, that's dreadful. Oh dear. I hope that it is short-lived for you and doesn't affect your life too much. Gosh, what a pain. Okay, so here I am stamping off again with my filling it in daisy stamp, just to lighten that ink color a bit. So we call that stamping off or second generation stamping, and you can see that the outline is then a little bit more dark and intense versus the inside, which is a little lighter and what's the word I'm searching for? No idea. Subdued? Maybe that's it. Feels and acts like a bad cold. Okay, well, that's not so bad then, hey? Hopefully you get lots of rest. You got someone to take care of you and help you out with all the things that you need. Yeah, what a shame. Okay, so now I've got the little middle for this smaller flower. And so I'm going to stamp that in the middle of my Moody Mauve daisies. Oh, that one doesn't need one because the middle is off the page. All right, so I'm going to pause here for a moment and give a little explainy of what I'm doing. Hey, Arvin. Hey, thanks for joining, pal. So you see how as I'm stamping these flowers, I'm making sure that some of them are going on all the different layers, right? And that's exactly what we want. And when you see that, you're going to see like, oh, as it overlapped that layer, there's a little bit of a line, a white line, and that's okay. It's going to look really cool when we finish it up. So don't be afraid to overlap those layers as you're doing the triple time stamping, because that effect is actually just what we're going for. Okay, so I've done boho blue, I've done Moody Mauve. Next, I'm going to do wild wheat, one of Arvin's very favorite colors, right, Arvin? Ha. Just like many of us, Arvin finds wild wheat a little bit hard to love. I find that it all depends on what you're doing with it and what you're combining it with. And this Cheerful Daisies stamp set, which actually I borrowed from Arvin. is one of the best ones to show off wild wheat. Okay, so stamping off and lining it up. That looks pretty cool. Okay, that's where it is. Yeah, Arvin, I still have it. One of these days I'm going to give it back to you, I promise. Okay, so my daisies are looking really good. They, of course, need a middle. So for this daisy here and this daisy here use the same middle, which is that one. So I'm going to wash it off and ink it up in some wild wheat. Yes, Kathy, it's in the DSP, and yeah, I find, like I said, pairing it with certain other colors or with certain styles and stuff that you're doing, it can be great or it can be not so great. So I just keep playing with it and learning as I go what is working for me. All right, so my daisies are looking pretty good. I want to add in now some little leaves. Oh, look, found that sentiment I was looking for. I knew I would. Okay, so the leaf is going to be Pebbled Path. And you'll notice as I began stamping too, I started with my sentiment because I wanted to make sure I had room for that. And then I started with the biggest flower and went down to the smaller ones. Okay, got my leaves stamped on there. And finally, the last in color is Copper Clay. And I've got this fun little flower stamp. And I've only got a couple little places where there's even room for me to put it in. Probably should have done this one before the leaf. Right there. And right there. Just like the techniques that we've been doing in the last little while, we're all about just filling in that blank space. If you haven't seen the last few videos, what have we done? Let me think. We did the crisscross stamping. We did the 4-way stamping. That was last week. We did block stamping. So we've been doing a lot of fun techniques that you don't need a lot of tools and equipment to create. And this is another one where that's the case. All I've got so far is some white cardstock. I've got a stamp set that I love and some colors that go together. And now we're going to make some magic happen. All right, so we are done stamping. We're ready to start assembling this card. So I have got my 3 matte pieces of contrasting cardstock, and I've got my card base here. Zoom out a little bit so we've got some room. So now my task is to gently take apart these layers, which I stuck together with my washi tape. And you can see washi tape doesn't damage the cardstock at all. It's not ripping anything. It's not a problem for removal. And then I'm going to use my actual adhesive to put it together on the cardstock mat that coordinates with it. And like I said, I'm going to give you all these measurements as a free download from my website, so don't sweat it. There we go. And we're going to pop this together. So, do you all know that it's Zoom stamping tomorrow night? I know Arvin does because she was messaging me about it earlier. Having trouble with this adhesive. Try the next one. So, tomorrow night, Tuesday night, July 25th, 7:30 p.m. Pacific, we're going to be doing some free Zoom stamping. And you can find all of the details at inkyfingers.ca/Zoom and see what you need to prepare. You cut out your cardstock and designer series paper ahead of time, and then you will be able to join us on Zoom where I will show you how to put together a fancy fold card. So it's absolutely free and you get to use the supplies that you already have, and it would be awesome to see you there. And then when we're finished the card, of course, everybody's got different colors and papers and themes, etc., that they've been using. And so we go around and spotlight everyone and see what everyone's creations look like. Okay. So you can see the magic coming together here. So the tricky part now is you just saw me lining up so that my layers are correctly aligned. Like it doesn't go like that because the pink flower just ends with nothing. It goes like this so that the leaf is connecting and the yellow flower is connecting, etc., etc. And then here we're looking, and which way does it go? It doesn't go like that because, let's see, what can we point to? Well, nothing quite looks right, does it? We've got yellow flower here and then another one upside down right below it. Doesn't look right. So let's flip it around, and now it looks right. So now that we know which way our layers are going, we can put them together. And if at this point you want to make sure that you don't get mixed up, sometimes I like to do a little T for top. I just flip it right over and go T for top on the back, and then I know that I won't get mixed up. So all of these supplies that you're seeing me use today can be bought at my online store, inkyfingers.ca. And if you shop from my online store, you're going to get a free bundle of tutorials to give you lots of inspiration for crafting with your new products. So I would just love it if you would go check that out. And then you can spend some time crafting, which is pretty much the most fun thing ever, right? I think so. Okay. There we go. There is our triple time stamping card. Yes, Kathy, Zoom is at 7:30 p.m. Pacific. Okay, so we need some embellishments on our card, of course. So I have got the in color dots, which coordinate with the in color ink pads that we used. So I'm going to put those on. And we are seconds away from giving away last week's card. Now, if you have enjoyed this video and you want to let other people know how awesome it is and how much fun we have on Make It Monday, a great way to do that is to hit the heart button. And another great way to do that is to share the video and comment below that you've shared, and then you will go in the draw for the card to win this card next week when I get to give it away. Oh, Kathy, thanks for tuning in, and feel better soon, hon. All right, so there is our finished card. Looking really good. Loving that. All right, let's bring back, oh yes, just to remind you, different ways to do triple time stamping. Our sample card, by the way, same measurements, these two. These two are the exact same measurements, just portrait versus landscape, and then this one is different measurements. Triple time, any measurements. Just 3 pieces of white and 3 mats. Okay, so we get to give away this card from last week's video. This was the 4-way Stampin' technique that we did last time. And I'm happy to say we're giving this away to Tanya Poppy. Thank you so much, Tanya, for sharing the video. And if you love what you see today, whether you're watching live or on replay, give it a share, and then you could get a chance to win. Well, you know what? You can win either one, whichever one you choose of these triple time Stampin' cards. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining me today. Remember that you can purchase all the products shown at my website, inkyfingers.ca, and you'll find lots more goodies there too, like tutorials, the catalog, my events calendar, including all the info for free Zoom stamping tomorrow night, and the sign up for my email newsletter to keep you up to date with all the good stuff going on in Stampin' World. So have a great day, everyone. Thank you again for joining me here on Make It Monday, and I'll see you next week. Happy stamping, friends. Bye.